Once again, find yourself amid the hidden splendors of Moonlight Alcove. Here you can wait a time till the stars deign to shine for you again. We have returned to a place of respite. Please make yourselves comfortable such as you can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine bright again in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there is something I must do. There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down into the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There, upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night, and the stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you're all part of is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. If your companions return there through the liberation rites, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour, with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Wolfred requests everybody to convene. You understand he is an announcement of some sort. Soon everyone is assembled, and Wolfred regards the group. Everyone, there is an aspect of our plan which I've not talked about you with length. Look around at your companions. What do you see in them? He lets the question hang for a moment in the air. I'll tell you what, I see in all of you, in all of us. I see in all of us living vision of the 8 scribes themselves, each one among them hailing from different tribes which later formed our Commonwealth. My observation does not come from pompousness, I think. Rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or shall I say, desire such a course. Together they created this ceremony from which we are now a part. The exiles liberated through the rites went on to found the Commonwealth based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody the spirit and the culture from which the Commonwealth arose so many centuries ago. That way, when we are all united on the other side in solidarity, the people all shall see that we reflect the values they yet cherish in their hearts, and not merely our own. Anyway, we are missing one key representative on behalf of Molten Millith, and I happen to know a certain bog dweller who I think shall fit the part most splendidly indeed. He motions for someone to approach. A certain bog dweller slithers forth. You recognize her straight away. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear old friend of mine who I believe you met. Welcome to the Nightwings, Bertrude. The bog dweller, called Big Bertrude, utters something guttural by way of greeting. We are to understand that ye require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude, the time has come. Bertrude here is far and away the most accomplished alchemist whom I've ever met. You soon will find that she knows much about the rites as well. Bertrude looks at you and your fellow exiles in turn. You frighten ye, apparent. Everyone is silent as Bertrude searches their expressions. Then tremble, small monks, and hold well thy tongues, lest we remove them. She takes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrude's blunt manner. I agree she shall more than make up for it. Everyone disperses. It seems now that the ranks of the Nightwings are complete. Hooray! Now then, my girl, perhaps you notice the stars are bright once more behind those stubborn rains, meaning it is time we get back to business. Indeed, once more, several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. Infinity. Sucks that my one loss had to be that one. Sure. Yeah, let's give him a chance to recover a bit. Let's go fight the lizards. Snakes. Is this night to understand that we should confront Sir Deluge and the Pyre Hearts once more? This is to be a most exciting time. This knight's one-time commanding officer, imagine if you will, a worm without the slightest trace of bravery. Sir Gilman then recants his tale of Sir Deluge's past and how it is that they wound up together in the downside. Sir Deluge, a worm knight of the Sea Dominion and a former ally of Sir Gilman, he lacks the sort of courage for which his kind is known, yet somehow leads the Pyre Hearts anyway. Some worms born under the Sea Dominion's waters sought life meaning on dry land. Life's meaning on dry land. The Commonwealth recognized their chivalrous traditions and soon put them to use. Sir Deluge was just another bit of frontline fodder in the war against the High-Wing remnants, yet time and again he distinguished himself for one simple reason: he would not die. His unusual instinct for self-preservation kept him safe in many battles, and over time he was repeatedly promoted for lack of any real competition. Then, in the Battle of the Spiral Sanctum, when retreat certainly was not an option, Sir Deluge retreated anyway. This was a breaking point, and he at least was sentenced to exile. In the downside, he sought water, where he made contact with Sir Gilman and other members of his kind. They all saluted him as their superior. The other knights had little choice but to respect his rank. As the Pyre Hearts, they conduct the rites in the name of their great hero, the Under-King Orez, while adhering to their strict code. This knight might not have failed so miserably at the Battle of Spiral Sanctum had his entire regiment not turned in disarray after Sir Deluge fled. Perhaps by confronting his former commander, this knight's own honor may be regained in part. For now, however, this knight must beg your leave. You say good night to Sir Gilman in turn. There's no time to make flight preparations now. Though in the morning you will press on once again. Bertrude's decks. These blackened nails do I hereby inscribe the rights of flame. The bylaws shall be written here in full. We 8 decree the rights a test of one's true worth in body, mind, and spirit. Now until the stars abandon us, this shall be binding law within the downside. Those deemed worthy in the rites are to regain their freedom from the downside and return from whence they came. Exiles shall conduct the rites as one of 9 triumphrates, and look toward the stars for guidance on their path. Exiles shall bear this book as status. There's more. The essential structure of a rite shall be as follows. Where chosen by the stars within the dark of night shall 2 triumvirates stand in opposition far enough afeld beside their consecrated pyres, symbolizing their resolve. In each triumvirate, the 3 shall act as one to demonstrate their trust in one another, not just in themselves. Triumvirates shall endeavor to extinguish the pyre of their adversary, whose flames are only to be staunched through a celestial orb descended from the stars. Whosoever pyre remains burning shall prevail. Oy. More! I should just keep flipping the pages. We, the 8, have seen the turning of the stars from now until the ending of our age. Heed their guidance and ours. The stars take many cyclic turns. The rites commence at their behest upon celestial landmarks where the downside's greater titans fell before the heavens. Bearing this book bestowed on your triumvirate, you, the reader, shall perceive under which stars you are to congregate. Follow where they lead, as your adversaries shall. If either of you fails to appear, then neither of you walks the path. Whether you prevail or you fail, from that point the stars shall guide you on. The rite shall not commence unless the necessary preparations are complete at the celestial landmark, ere the stars align. Exiles shall conduct the rites bearing this book, of which there are but 40 copies, each bound in astral hide. Exiles shall wear the secret raiments, fashioned in our likeness at the summit of Mount Alodil. Their identities are to be concealed, for they shall represent us all. Exiles shall set a metal sigil for their pyre, and consecrate the grounds using the words the 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. The heavens shall respond when all is set. Jeez. Tooting their own horns a little bit. During the rite, each triumvirate shall act as one, unerringly and without question. The disobedient shall suffer banishment or permanent expulsion. Exiles shall move as a single mind to demonstrate their faith and recognize that they, as we the 8, cannot prevail alone. Their worth shall be determined both by their actions and their peers. Triumvirates lacking experience in this may designate a reader whose focus on this book may help the others to coordinate. However, only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path towards enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. At the appointed time, at the aligning of the stars, the heavens shall rain down upon the ground sufficiently prepared, and thus 2 opposing pyres shall be set ablaze. Thus shall commence the rite. Triumvirates are to protect their pyres as they would their lifeblood. Lifeblood itself is never to be shed before, during, or after any rite, lest the disobeyer suffer permanent expulsion. Exile is injury enough. The rite is an act of mercy. Fear not the purifying flame. Plunge into it headlong without fear, for you shall be protected by the stars themselves. Seek freedom in the flame. Exiles bearing the raiments in this book reveal their hidden inner aura and its color of their flame. The aura is the exile's solitary weapon in the rites. Should one's adversary cross one's aura, the adversary shall be banished. Banishment is fleeting nothingness. Seek the pyre's light and thus make your return. The exile's presence shapes the aura. Exiles gain greater auras while standing side by side with their triumvirates, for we gain strength together. Exiles may cast their aura through sheer force of focus on this book. As the 2 flames are lit, so shall the celestial orb fill the heavens. But one such orb shall be availed by the stars, requiring triumvirates to vie for it. Its cosmic connection to the flames, the raiments, and the book bestows the necessary qualities for its bearer to prevail. Effortlessly sails the orb between the 3 and triumvirate. It seeks the grasp of whosoever acts among the 3. Once grasped, firmly grasped, the orb shall draw within all the bearer's aura, fueled by the triumvirate's own flame. It is to be cast into the flame. I butchered that horribly. Let's just pretend that never happened. Okay. In each rite we gain enlightenment, whether we prevail or we fail. Indeed, through failure do we tend to learn the most valued lessons, provided we survive. None among us have prevailed without end. Exiles who walk the path towards enlightenment shall at times be struck by an epiphany and achieve mastery in some respect. Choose well among these blessings we bestow, thus you may yet achieve your potential and surpass your adversaries. Whenever you prevail, your triumvirate earns favor. In time, the triumvirate with the most favor shall be summoned to the liberation rite to earn a chance at freedom. Then the cycle shall begin anew. The liberation rite takes place upon the fall of Solium under a blooded moon, witnessed by the heralds from the stars. There, the most favored triumvirate shall confront the one which we appoint. These 2 triumvirates first shall pass through Stribe's gate, where their worth shall be assessed under the stars. Only the most enlightened exiles from within each triumvirate may be anointed for a chance at freedom. 2 of their companions shall support them whilst they strive. The anointed champion of the triumvirate which prevails then shall plunge into the shimmer pool and return in glory. You find Big Gertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Such clutter added to this wagon since we looked upon it last, unsightly. We remember thee from our boat and flanking hands. Then thou must be the reading one to whom Sandalwood referred. She moves in close, studying you. You recall that the mere touch of bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. That one such as thee extract meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wished to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that you canst understand the Book of Rites. Then she backs away, for someone else has joined you. Hail, Bertrude, madame. Is everything to your liking at this time, or is something more which you require? We have been able to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard to extract among the belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. It is possible that Wolfred has a small supply among his possessions here. If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madame. As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Sharpening things. You rise early in the morning, though Bertrude is already awake. She scowls at you. Good morning, reader. Bertrude, I trust your stays being not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood, the comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. The reader here shall do so once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. Sightseeing. Soaring far above Sklorian shore, you notice Pamitha gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. That damn place down there. I like it least of all, I think, among everywhere we've been. Thankful there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home, is all. The high-wing remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that reaches the clouds above your commonwealth. But it's not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land. There, by the nest of Turista. Anyway, I'm pleased to have spent as little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. I don't really have any money. Trying to land, goddammit. Fulfred is poring over a copy of the Book of Rites as you approach. He looks at you and smiles. The Road to Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and fewer still can read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel at how absurd all of this is, my girl. Tell me something, though. I've spent so much time considering the book, but known so few with whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think, worth all the fuss? Sure, it's fascinating. Tell Wilfred the book has fascinated you and that you've never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share the sentiment. To have it in our possession is a genuine artifact from a forgotten time. How much of it is exactly true and how much of it is the scribe's retelling of events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. I feel like I missed something there. I might have actually accidentally double-tapped the spacebar. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It's amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time, I think. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well. And the ideas there contained, they remain rather provocative as well. To think that the Commonwealth disavows the existence of the book, despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. Although the reasons why are in there, written plain, how fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for my extracurricular interests in its teachings. I used to teach a version of its history. To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you all a good afternoon. Sandra, are you still mad at me? Greetings to you, lovely reader. I'm at your disposal. Yeah, she still doesn't want to talk to me. She's mad at me for reasons. You and Shay wander together for a while through the leaves and branches of Cinderroot, sometimes in circles. What exactly she is looking for, she cannot explain. Eventually, however, she happens on something that never caught your notice. Look at this, miss. The scribes, they walked this very path. I think they did, and they left this here for us. The object she procures does seem to emanate with some sort of faint and ancient power. Wisdom trace. Ooh. Never have I witnessed an affront to nature, mine and everyone's, quite like this poisoned woods of limbless Erazek, the root titan, and his suffocating influence. I shall leave it to the boastful Underking to tell you more of Azarek's vanquishing, whilst I may tell you something of the glade he protected, which became my own, for my own genealogy now occupies the soil there and strives forevermore to prevent Arazek from taking root again. Just read the letters, just stop trying to skim it. The brambles of the glade are constantly encroaching on themselves and falling once again to dust. This miraculous cycle reflected in the starlight piercing through the canopy needs to be witnessed whenever the stars invite an audience. Yes, I tried to skip that with the spacebar, just with it. She seems to be talking to the black wagon's walls again, though this time something seems to have come over her. Little brother, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? You're unsure whether to check in with her or leave her be. She's acting rather odd, even for her. You sense now that it's not the time to interrupt, and that Shay is on the verge of confronting some long-dormant emotions which she has to face. They always said that there was something wrong with me, but they wouldn't really tell me what. They wouldn't say. They said I was moon-touched, but so what? So then the scribes, they called me here. They're the ones who brought me here, not those people. They were so cruel. They were always so cruel. I didn't have a little brother at the time. No one I can recall, really, although so much of it back then I can't tell how much of it I dreamt. Most of it I didn't want it to be true. But I remember that they threw me out. They decided they would throw me out and let the scribes take care of me. They said the scribes, they would take care of me. I was so very quiet here, and I was alone again, although I think I liked it more, being alone down here than being alone back there. Everybody's alone down here, and so it makes me feel less alone somehow. Back there, I would sometimes see family, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, but here there was hardly anyone at all. But I knew that I was closer to the scribes, and I knew that they were in the sky above, and I did search for them up there, you know? And then one night I found them. I saw the stars, and they were falling to the ground, and I thought, why is it the scribes themselves are crying? They're sad, and maybe they're sad for me? Well then, that was the first I saw you, little brother. With your help, I would get closer to the scribes. That way, maybe they could answer all my questions, don't you think? I'm so very glad I found you and the others. I'm finally not alone. And more importantly, I think sometimes I even feel that way, that I'm not alone. Maybe as we get closer, maybe I will feel that way more often being here or being anywhere with you and all my friends. She falls silent, though you are concerned for her at first. You sense now that she's at peace. She wanders off, paying no attention. No notice in the least. You sense that you have better understanding of her now. She was a special child, left abandoned, and despite her seemingly simple nature, she possessed a strange affinity for the old ways. One day, she was taken by authorities. When she revealed her fixations about the scribes, she was deemed witless, and when no one claimed responsibility for her, she was cast into exile. In the downside, she has wandered aimlessly in search for more clues about the legendary heroes who so fascinate her. Bog roller of considerable notoriety here in the downside and runs a sort of business bearing her own name. She has a forbidding way about her, but her respect for Wolfred is evident, and even borders on affection. She seems to know much of the rites, despite not having conducted them prior to joining forces with you. Hey you guys, it's always nice to see some more customers, because you know I don't always get too much around here, and sometimes it gets kind of lonely here, I guess. There's not a lot of customers today. Everything is set for the rite to commence, and is all is quiet amid the gnarled roots at the Glade of Lou. All there's left to do is wait for nightfall to set in. You observe Sir Gilman sliding back and forth, back and forth. You sense something is weighing on his mind. This knight is not a knight at all. This knight betrayed his former commander, abandoned his brethren of the Sea Dominion. But what is knighthood even? What is knighthood if it means having to follow such a craven as that Sir Deluge? Cease this nonsense, Gilman. Focus on the right, focus on the right, focus on the right. He notices you coming. Oh, Master Rita, this knight did not see you there just now. Such was his preoccupation with the task at hand. Know that this knight stands prepared. He has no misgivings whatsoever when it comes to battling his ex-triumvirate. Please consider letting this knight participate, for he has honor to restore. Then a glimmering within the sky draws your attention and his attention. Unfathomed. I don't know if I want to give them more quickness.
Islok, Astralborn.
Islok. Okay. I come by it honestly. Should I heard my grandfather try to pronounce dinosaur names?
The much-vaunted reader has returned, and it would appear her ranks grow stronger. Consorting with the bog-crone Bertrude, are we? How very strange that you befriended her. At any rate, your adversaries in this fight shall be the Pyre. Put out their flame and walk the path to liberty.
That's actually a really clever sigil. Gilman, still not abandoned by your new friends like all your other duties and responsibilities. Sir Deluge wrestles with his mask for a time. This knight is most surprised that you have the courage to even show yourself. You speak of courage, Sir Deluge, but this knight has little else to say to the likes of you. That figures, Gilman. You're no knight at all. You're a dainty minnow swimming in a sea of minnows many, many times your size, with much more honor, too. Then something comes over Sir Gilman. But as soon it fades. But just as soon it fades, Sir Gilman slinks away. Disgraceful, you knightmans are stupid to have taken that one in, and you are no good at the rights. And another thing, I do not fear you! Hold a moment, reader. The crone Bertrude slithers forth, wearing the raiments of the rights. Now that Bertrude is among our ranks, it would be best if you become familiar with her repertoire. You have no obligation to make use of her abilities, of course. Good Bertrude, please show the readers something of your aptitude. We expect you shall be soon inclined to bring our sorceries to bear. Long have we studied these rites of thine. Let us show thee what we know of them thus far.
The bog-crone Bertrude shows herself in full. Though I have to wonder what became of her accomplices. Of one accomplice in particular. You watch yourself around her, reader. None are sentenced into exile without sufficient cause.
Well, I don't know about that. Who's flashing her? Oops. Now then, reading one. Know that our freedom is of little consequence to us. We side with you because of Sandalwood, because of his plan. We shall aid ye in the rights, and we shall aid ye in that plan. Thus we are at thy disposal and await thy bidding. He one's tiny.
Who shall conduct this rite?
Oh. Good to know. Aw. Well, let's give her a shot.
Sir Gilman.
Oh, wait. That is correct. Thank you.
Bertrude. Amatha,
Courage.
the choice is cast.
You little wretched beings would be wiser not to threaten one of ours. Come then, Nightwings, show this night how you defend the honor of that miserable minnow who you harbor. On guard!
Now begin. A bit of a blunder. The first dousing.
Oh, no, not again.
Splendid.
Oops.
Not much of a splash that time.
I don't know exactly what happened there. Oh, right
I
into their
almost
face.
pity what transpired there. Oof.
Oof.
All for naught. Their flame has died a little. Beauteous. There.
Oh. Oops, I didn't mean to. Where is the fucking...
Tis
What? Oh,
the scribes
there's a dude
ordain.
still over here. That was confusing.
Remember everything which you hold dear.
I'm trying.
That's it. Glory to the scribes.
That was close.
The rite is nearly ended.
Ooh.
The orb. How brazen.
Oops, that was a mistake.
A devious maneuver.
I dodged it.
Good.
Oh, what?
There. host. And it is done. The Night Wings prevail. They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble. The ceremony is complete.
Curse you, Gilman! You are a fool to abandon us, and now you only twist the dagger in our backs. You still do not seem to understand, Star Deluge. This knight is no longer beholden to the likes of you. This knight is bound only by the path towards enlightenment. Your words ring false. You are unfit to lead. Shut up. You don't know exactly what you are, Gilman. You call this knight a craven, and yet your courage is a mere facade, and everybody knows. Everybody knows. This knight shall see to it. Sir Gilman does not respond, although you sense the words of Sir Deluge got to him.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes. Honor is elusive, O Sir Gilman.
So grateful is this knight for such a glorious occasion that he is giving strong consideration to performing here and now the forbidden dance of the Sea Dominion.
The ancient crone called Bertrude.
Fosters our grasp of ancient sorceries grow ever stronger still.
The secrets of the Wild Witch revealed. Until the stars align.
After defeating the Pyrehearts in a pitched battle, you return to the wagon to find Wolfred and the lone minstrel in the midst of conversation.
That is so.
Most strange that this one star should be illuminated now. This is not what I expected. Nor I, Wolfred, sir. Then Wolfred notices you there. Reader, Tariq and I observed a strange occurrence in the sky is all. It appears that the star of Kaelmer rope collar is illuminated now. It is but another star, except our models and predictions of the cosmos did not anticipate this. Anyway, go see for yourself. I shall make the wagon ready in the meantime. You see only a single shining star illuminated far above, just as Wolfred indicated. The rogue star. Then we are summoned to the Isle of Kaelmer, deep within the deathless Tempest. Have you been there before, Tariq? Long ago, I scarce recall the time, only the scent. It is the place from whence the creatures native to this land sprang forth. Reader, let's not concern ourselves with superstitions held about that place. We'll set forth at dawn and soon see for ourselves what to make of it. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there. Because I have stuff to do.